Okay, we're rolling. Okay, July 2nd, 2025. Feast of Trumpets. I changed it. 3 more months. It's actually 84 days, plus or minus. I write it out a little bit. Started at 4 months when I wrote that down. Now it's 3 months. But no, people don't want to believe it. Okay, no, they'd rather believe whatever. We moved into a new place here, so it's kind of disorganized yet. All the boxes, I haven't got a table even yet. Okay, no, we're not highly financed, not highly organized. July 1st, Canada Day. Remember, we were up in Alaska, went to Yukon, and then Alaska, July 4th. And ex-wife was upset that we forgot to get the banking. Guy knocked on the door of the truck, asked me if I could fix his windshield. Had U.S. cash money, huh? The Lord knows how to provide. Rent here? Well, maybe this is a little stretch on it. And the rocks rent. Do you think if he broke the rocks when this happened, the graves opened and many of the saints came out of the graves after his resurrection? After his resurrection into the holy city and appeared unto me. Matthew 27, 52 and 53. But I was reading here last night and this morning, the rocks rent. I think he can supply our rent here. Yeah, it went up substantially, but we have an extra bedroom for some company to stay over maybe or something. Maybe do a little daycare. It's got a good exit right out here. Can do a little barbecuing. Have to get our barbecue. We actually got 2 barbecues. An older one was a stepson. He moved to San Diego where the plane wrecked. I did a little YouTube on that. Yeah, that Air India plane. Well, that could. Yeah, they used to just bomb them. Okay. We knew it was terrorism or something. Here, now who took this? And China just happens to be building their own planes and happen to, come up with their own engines. Reverse engineering of other ones, you'd be sure. They want to discredit the Americans. Airbus has trouble too, but Boeing has more than their share, but okay, probably. This is what happens. Don't tell me you can't make the plane safer. They can push a military equipment out the back of a plane and land it with parachutes, some of the heaviest equipment. And they can't stop a plane from crashing so hard that it explodes. Yeah, really. Okay. I mean, the Titanic, they didn't have enough light bulbs either, and they thought it was unsinkable. This is the arrogance of man. Okay, to think that you're gonna always be able to keep that plane in the air. No, don't tell me you can't have a big gyrocopter blade on top, self-rotation as long as you have forward motion with a gyrocopter. The new helicopters apparently are made with a disengaged transmission in the engine, so you have self-rotation at the top. Okay. So, eventually they improved things a little bit. How many people's got to get killed? The only thing they had a real emergency was a little rat on the bottom. This is Matthew 24:12 happening in front of us. 24:12. What is that about? And because of iniquity, knowingly and willfully transgressing. Yeah. They don't want to make it safer. It costs money. The love of money, the love of many shall wax cold. How does wax in a candle turn cold? This is the times we live in. Got all this technology and we can't keep a plane in the air? Land it safely without exploding? Really? Lots of politics behind this stuff. Here, Well done, good and faithful servant. Is he going to be able to say that to us? Or is he going to say to us, how come you didn't do more? How come you didn't even try? The guy scoffed at me. Had an issue with another guy from see him around town. My wife wondered how he even got to the Stampede breakfast. Interrupted me twice. I told him the first time, no, he doesn't get the drift. Either he's got a serious mental handicap, or the guy is just totally arrogant. I wouldn't be surprised he's Obadiah or something, just to cause division. That's what he does. Everything's got to be 100% his way. He thinks he's so smart. Only being infant baptized. I need to put that online. The guy actually, I shared with him the week before about all the baptisms happening in Oklahoma and stuff, and he actually had a teaching about this, about getting people dunked. The Nigerian lady is getting friendly with the other ladies, so she's helping in the kitchen after the little lunch once a month. Hey, hope to have a little barbecue and stuff around here too. Here's my wife's fish tank. Used to be stuck in more of a basin. I said, yeah, I'll let the fish look around. Okay, all caged up. Well, let them look out here. We can look at them. Okay, we can play with them a little more. Feast of Trumpets, September 23rd. But how many people just want to believe what they want to believe? They don't want to believe that Elijah went to the third heaven. Really? Where did he go? Enoch just went to a cave somewhere? Oh, really? Oh, no man knows the exact hour or day. Yeah, but it says recognize the time and seasons. Okay, Elijah knew when he was going to be caught up. That's why Elijah wanted to hang around with him. Okay, he knew the time was upon him. Yeah, maybe he didn't know the exact hour or day, but he knew the season. Okay, what are we being taught? That was before Jesus ascended. Matthew, was that 24? I think they like go with that one. No man knows the exact hour or day. How about 22, where it warns us about only a few? Huh? They don't want to read that one. Only a few. Many are called, but few are chosen. You do err, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of God. Power of God is the Holy Spirit coming upon Jesus. Get in the water. Get dunked again. Okay? Yeah. For many are called, but few are chosen. Some people think as long as they got dunked in the water, they're good to go, right? I think this is about being cast out into darkness. No, I really doubted these people got to the marriage supper and then later it's what they call a hyperbole. He's saying even if it was that way, they wouldn't be allowed to stay there. Okay? It's like a finger dipped in water quenches a fiery thirst. Really? Teach Canaanite out of body being tormented forever and ever. Really? Fear-mongering. Okay? No more Canaanites. Zechariah 14:21. But see that a lot of people want to take that out of context. They even changed it to trader and merchant. Go look it up. Okay? I'm not talking about the person's occupation. Finger dipped in water isn't going to quench their fiery thirst. The Lutheran pastor had a message. I asked him that afterwards. Them and their infant baptisms. Okay? Where did he get that idea? Well, it came out of Romanism. The one place had all these books from Luther, but nothing on Matthew. No. They tried to discredit Matthew. They tried to discredit King James after he died. They tried to hide stuff away. They tried to bribe the guards to say his body was stolen. Come on. They hide the stuff away. They don't want to acknowledge that things did happen. Noah's flood did happen. They try to hide it away, trying to explain it into millions and millions of years and all this stuff. If you actually believe two rocks came together, banged together, and we have everything, I told the one guy I don't have time and patience with that kind of nonsense. I walked out. Next time I saw him, he said, "We need to talk." I said, "Are you seriously going to discuss things, or are you going to play this head game?" That's all he was doing, playing head games with the other guy. That and finally I told him off and walked out. Yeah. Got other things to do. My wife caught Uber out of here. Only $9 to work from here. That's pretty good. The buses go right by here, so maybe I'll catch a bus down to see if a guy is there for coffee. Only do a short YouTube here. Get back in the groove here, doing so much your flat Earth. Hey, I got Australia on the top there, maybe. See, Australians, it's psychologically depressing. Down under. Okay, we'll have it at the top. And there's the map of the world. I stuck it up there. It's probably going to fall off the wall almost. Not stuck there very well. See, a flat map is more distorted. I guess the Iceland volcano is acting up again. Could affect the airlines to Europe. Yeah, well, because that's... And guess what's in Greenland, Mr. American? Mainstream media doesn't want to acknowledge this. There's Greenlanders there with kinky hair. Why? They're Afro-American fathers and grandfathers from the warriors. Okay? We think we can run around the world and have a good time. Guy doesn't want to go to Costa Rica anymore. Why? I think if the brothers find him there, he might be big trouble. Okay? So he doesn't want to go to Costa Rica. He goes to Panama now. Doesn't have any kids that he'll admit to. Yeah. Come on. What is the truth of this stuff? Okay. Revelation 14. We'll go that again. Okay. Because that is Matthew 27. Say it's not confirmed. What is it? Okay. Matthew 14. Revelation 14, rather. Verse 4. And there we go. These, I don't have it underlined in this Bible right now yet. Defiled with women. They were virgins. Hey, we're all going to be youthful virgins again when we're resurrected. That's why I couldn't find Lazarus at the dinner party. Okay, and no, he didn't die again. He left from Bethany. Whose house was Bethany's? Okay, preachers. Well, just believe and you'll never die. Well, Lazarus believed. He walked with Jesus and he died, but resurrected again. See, he's the God of the living, not the God of the dead. These other religions, all on stuff, you have to die to get to their paradise. Not everybody's going to die. It's an unfortunate thing some do, but he promised to resurrect us. And we're all going to face eventually, not in hellfire, teaching that Korah went into, he burnt up, got consumed. Maybe be resurrected in the future to a judgment. This is what this says. Okay? But what do we got? We got this problem trying to fit 2 shoes into 2 feet into 1 shoe. Yeah, my socks aren't even pulled on yet. Okay, yank them up feet. A little higher on my ankles. They create some circulation problems. Oh, I got problems. Okay, back to Revelation 14. Revelation 14, verse 4. That's what I was going to go to. These were redeemed from men, being the first fruits unto God. What does that say? First fruits. That's the day he was resurrected on. Then they say it's not confirmed. There it is. Now, interesting thing. You flip the numbers around here a little bit. In 1 Thessalonians 4:14, instead of 14 verse 4, you go to 1 Thessalonians, if I can find it here. All the T's are together in this Bible. Some of these Hebrews type stuff, mix them all up so you don't know where anything is. But they put Daniel in a separate section from the rest of the prophets. So why is that? Colossians, T's. The T's are all together here. Okay. Timothy. 1 Thessalonians 4. Okay, there's 5. Okay, see, most people read 16. For the Lord himself descended from heaven with a shout, the voice of an angel, with the trump of God, the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then which we are alive and remain shall be caught up. Okay, they say caught up emotionally or what? Okay, see, they try to explain things away. Human reasoning. Okay, but verse 4:14. For if we believe that died, okay, stop. If you don't believe that, that's another whole issue. Like, he was run through with a Roman spear and didn't die. Okay. And rose again. Even them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. Sleep in Jesus. See, this, I usually read this one here, and I got another one like this. It's in my computer. I happened to leave it last week at a soup kitchen. Accidentally, I have to get it back. Sleep in Jesus. So I'm reading this one here. It's good to, they're both King James, okay? Which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. Some try to explain it as some spirit comes back from some place. What are you going to have him in torment already? For 1,000 years? It doesn't fit. Sorry, we had you in the wrong place. We're asleep. Some call it soul sleep. Resurrected. Which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. Why? Because it already happened at Pentecost. Aaron from Hamilton, Ontario, counted Omar. Okay, I should look up the word Omar. What does it mean? My one grandmother's name was Oma. Okay, I didn't know what that meant. I had to ask my mom what my grandma's name actually was. My dad people called him Harry. I didn't know his formal name was Henry. I knew him as Dad, Mr. Jehovah's Witnesses. Relationship. Don't get so technical about everything. They strain at gnats and swallow camels. Okay? This is what's going on. Mr. Adventist, strain at the Trinity. It's Latin. Okay? For the Spirit. And you see, you get all uptight about some term. Rapture is Latin for caught up in English, harpozo in Greek. Just get over it. I told one guy at an Adventist, I think there's more important things to discuss, like covetousness is what causes true love to wax cold, and it's being called good Christian stewardship to get your tax deduction from an atheistic system. And they're reaping what they have not sown even. Ezekiel 34, they fed upon the sheep, but did not feed the sheep. You go from one boat to another. Peter was called out of the boat. The ark is sinking. Okay? I go right to some of these colonies. I was with the guy helping us move here. He got the little fridge from our other place. We got a fridge here. Okay. Not given to much wine. Well, how much is too much? A little leaven spoils the whole. And there was children at the wedding, and you actually believe a Nazarite turned the water into fermented wine. Really? They called it strong drink. They didn't have steam distillation. It was medicinal for age, for old and the ill. I think a little fermented juice might be able to dissolve our almond seeds. My mother-in-law in New York with her sister, okay, suggested that. Yeah. Cash strapped here, but my wife doesn't want to sell her house in the Philippines. It was for her parents. Her mother's in New York, moving down to Carolinas or something now. I don't know what the deal is there. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself. See, what do they teach? Travel around the world. Okay. Some go every year or twice a year to some tour. Call it a conference on a Caribbean cruise boat. Really. It's just one big party. Keep the dole coming. Okay, promise them what? Promise them freedom and liberty while they themselves are servants of corruption. Okay, coming up to 21 minutes. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. After their own lust shall heap themselves teachers having itchy ears, and shall turn away from the ears from the truth, and shall be turned into fables. Do the work of an evangelist. Okay? I'm not called to be a pastor. A guy from Lethbridge asked him to dunk me, but no, they wouldn't do that. The assistant wouldn't do it. I said, I did it myself. Okay? And the Lord showed me that Philip didn't have to go back to Jerusalem and ask for Peter's permission or whatever. The guy from Lethbridge kind of gave me some static. He says, Al, why aren't you a pastor by now? I looked at him and said, you know I'm not called to be a pastor. I said, have you been praying for the Hutterite colonies? Yeah. He says, who do you think's going out there? This is what I do. I don't sit in some comfortable pew having my itchy ears scratched all the time. I challenge these people. They don't want that. They don't like that. Years ago, they made comments about the evangelists coming around and stirring up the pot. Well, maybe that's what needs to be done. But see, the pastors don't like that. So now they don't even have, we're all called to be evangelists, the guy says. I said, no, there's a position of calling. And Elijah mentored Eliza. You don't learn this stuff in a classroom. Where I learned guy challenged me, an old guy down Lethbridge. He says, what's a dietary thing got to do with love waxing cold? I looked down and said, absolutely nothing. So we studied it. It's covetousness. But what did his brother and the other guy, they thought they'd go across kitty corner to the Tim Hortons restaurant and do evangelism when I was gone. They didn't do a very good job of it. The old guy sent them packing back to their Hebrew function. Okay. Good for him. Okay. Yeah. But this is what I want to discuss here. We're going to have maybe little discussions here, little barbecue. I met the one guy, I know him, he used to go to the Hebrew group. I saw Mr. Art Pulaski online. I guess he's in hot water, claiming the Alberta government even tried to bribe him to keep him quiet. Okay. Hey, they know who I am too. Okay, we know each other. I don't agree with them totally. Okay, no, ecumenical stuff. This is Western Canada, not Poland. Okay, I don't know everything about Poland. He figures you have to be involved with Romanism in Poland. Okay, maybe. Okay, I don't think we need to do that here. Maybe Quebec. Okay. Different parts of the country are different. United country? Ha ha ha. They hung the one guy from Montana, Louis Riel, French native, maybe born in Winnipeg, I'm not sure. But he hung him in Regina, Saskatchewan, 1880. The last war in Canada was not 1812 in Quebec. And it was the British and the American forces. And the winter did the American forces in. But they didn't have airplanes then, did they? See? All kinds of things happening. Okay. Around the world. April 8th, 2024. That was a timeline marker, I believe. No, our other calendars are not accurate. Okay. He put the timeline markers up in the heavens. Okay. See, 2 years ago, people were saying that, no, the Feast of Trumpets. I said, no, the solar eclipse comes first. I knew that. Then last fall, it was, I come to realize Israel is 77 years old this 2025 in May. Then I came to realize in May, watching and studying things, I think it was the guy from Hamilton, Ontario, maybe even brought it up, that Jacob was 77 years old when he married Leah. Left 7 years later. 7 years later, let's get into this post-trib stuff. Messiah 2032 now. They changed the numbers a little bit from 31 to 32. Okay. So there we go. It's 7 years from now. What's going to happen? It's only about 3.5 more years now to the end of the 2,000 years. How come he waited 2 days to even resurrect Lazarus? And he did it on the 4th day, Mr. Orthodox Jew. See, some people will not believe it until they actually see it. But Jesus said to doubting Thomas, he didn't scold doubting Thomas. He wanted to see the nail prints and stuff, okay? Some people says he wasn't nailed, just tied. See how they take things out of context? His nail prints and the side wound. But he said also, blessed are those that have seen, believe, and have not seen. Yeah, we saw a hologram in Israel in 2019. But no, the pastors don't want to even discuss it. Why? What are they teaching? They got to have the so-called third temple first? Okay. What does it say? Hey, Amos 1, Zephaniah 2, Gaza is happening. Okay, you can look these things up. Do a little study. Go. Get in this thing. Guy who was baptized after 1 week, baptized as an infant only, as a RC. Okay? After 1 week, he says it has so much more meaning, and he's so hungry to learn now. Why? Get dunked. Holy Spirit power. Zechariah. See, Malachi. They like Malachi. Elijah comes. Okay? After. Because most people aren't going to believe that a few people disappeared. Okay? Most will be from the grave, I believe. Okay? From the last 1997 years. Okay? Enoch had to be counted worthy. Many are called, but few are chosen. Canaanite. Not. Okay? What was I going to comment on that? Oh, yeah. Zechariah chapter 6. The temple. Yeah, what does it say? Here, I got it underlined here. The branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build. Well, maybe in the King James 16:11. I should look it up. He, I believe, should be capitalized. It's talking about Jesus, Yeshua, the branch. We're grafted in to the vine, right? The branch. You go out of he shall build the temple of the Lord, and he shall build the temple of the Lord, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne, and he shall be a priest upon him. When? That's for the Feast of tabernacles. Okay? That's after some other event. Okay? That's after the living waters going out from Jerusalem right now. Okay? 2 parts cut off. That's in Tel Aviv, party town. He knew us in the womb. Half in Jerusalem, ravished, okay, during the lockdown. And women were miscarrying, and they probably won't have more children. Women are ravished. But there's a difference between the north and the south here, okay? And evening time shall be light. That's kind of a strange occurrence, okay? The Feast of Tabernacles, 3 times is written here. I haven't got it underlined in this one. Okay. Feast of Tabernacles. Okay. So he shall reign from his throne for 1,000 years. Mr. Post-trib? Yeah. Mr. Pan-trib, he's even worse. Said, be hot or cold, get off the fence. You'll be resurrected. It'll pan out in the end, after the 1,000 years maybe. Okay. You can stand before the king and explain that, oh, I just didn't want to create a controversy at all. So I was just pan-trib. Yeah, just pan out in the end, yeah. Okay, what was I gonna... See, there's no resurrection here. Their tongues shall consume them. Is that a nuclear war? Wow. I'm looking for the one. Okay. The saints come with him. The saints, those asleep, come with him. Same as 1 Thessalonians 4:14. A little different. He says, asleep come with him. This is the saints. See, the ambassadors are already chosen. Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. Well, I thought utter destruction. Got to read that in common. I shall be consumed. It will come to pass in that day a great tumult. Everyone of his handmaidens shall be the plague of the horse. Some people teach the white horse is the Antichrist. Yeah, I kind of doubt that. Keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay. I don't see it right there now. Have to look more through that. It's in this other one, I'm sure. See, sometimes it just kind of hides away. Zechariah 4. Okay, got it right here. Let's see, I know where it is. Verse 5. Yeah, I didn't. Verse 5. And the Lord and the saints with the white horse. Got it written here. I think it's a UCG or something. It's Herbert W. Armstrong from California teaching. Oh, that's the Antichrist. It's all in the future. Who was Simeon the sorcerer? Okay, and Canaanite. Was that all the way back to Cain and Abel? I think, rather believe it is. In that day, living waters. Yeah. How are they surviving in Gaza? They have fresh water flowing from the mountains. Underneath, they tried to flood them out. The water was running out as fast as they pumped it in. Okay? Their flesh shall consume away. Okay? There. See, the saints, the ambassadors, are going to be chosen at the marriage supper of the Lamb. I said that the Lutheran guy says, and he was kind of shocked. I said, yeah, some of your people in your own congregation don't even believe that Elijah went to the third heaven. What the guy at Lethbridge, I found out some people from their Dutch background, used to be called Dutch Reformed, okay? We're only infant baptism. What are you teaching down there? Okay? Talent of lead. See, the young guy doesn't want to read this. What? He kind of ripped me off, accused me of talking to my own wife.